there's a tag on there you can see. You see it?
Yeah, I do.
Davina, turn that vase this way so the tag ain't shown. Yep.
Okay. We don't want to promote. Oh, yeah, well.
Cause my love came crashing down. I don't know if it.
So you all can go on your phone and then you can just.
Cause my love came crashing down. I don't know if it ever will get back up again. I need someone to talk to. I'll say what I'm going through. Tired of complications, relationships. Cause my love came crashing down. I don't know if it ever will get back up again. I need someone to talk to. I'll say what I'm going through. Tired of complications, relationships.
Hello, my name is Emilymai Esther Dunbar. I'm the founder of Mending Hearts Life Coaching. Dear Emily, the whole purpose of it is to just have a space where people can share their stories, about life, dating, courting, divorce, marriage, friendship, betrayal, love, mental health, you name it.
I think one of the biggest mistakes people make, or couples make, when it comes out to managing finances is they don't actually manage it.
Girls out there want to kiss me. Because if you call me kissing actor, then you're setting me up.
We as women, I just said it was a myth that we could be all things to everybody, do everything well. So the only person that we can change, really, is us.
When someone cannot conceive their own dreams, why do we expect them to be able to see ours?
It all boils back down to you have to take care of yourself. You know, you have to take care of yourself. You have to prioritize yourself, prioritize your mental health. If not, it's going to show up when you go to work. It's going to show up when you come home to your children. It's going to show up even when you're in the community, like just your energy. People can feel off that.
And one of the things, something that you also share that I tell people all the time is, you know, just because you're married doesn't mean that your marriage is healthy. Because there are literally people who are just coexisting for the sake of their families.
What is your definition of a good man? I always say this. We've heard a lot of young ladies often say, well, I'm waiting on my boys. I'm waiting on my boys. But I asked them, you waiting on your boys, or are you Ruth material?
When you put things in your own handwriting, it becomes personal then. Because just like our fingerprints and all this other stuff that's ours, even twins, they still have different fingerprints.
Yeah.
You know, so when you write it down and journal those things, that gives you a sense of responsibility to do something about it.
Sometimes I don't feel like you can put a time on like when you need self-care. You know, you might be depleted by noon. Sometimes you might be depleted by 9 o'clock. You know what I mean? So just listen to your body and your spirit and whatever it requires.
Hello everyone, welcome to Dear Emily Season 2, Episode 3. I am so excited to be here with you all tonight. And as you know, we have amazing guest with us for tonight. But before we even get into that, I want you all to share the video, comment, let me know you're watching. Throughout this time, I'll be giving shout outs. I'll be calling your name, reading comments. We want to keep this conversation, this show, we're going to keep it interactive, okay? So make sure you're sharing the video. I'm here, I'm on my phone. Let me know you're here. Let me know you're watching, okay? And let me know you're sharing the video as well. As you all know, Dear Emily is really a platform to educate and provide insights on positive relationships, right? We're having conversations about healthy relationship, about life issues in general. And part of Dear Emily is for people to send anonymous letters to Emily about what's going on in their life, what they want to talk about, whether it's marriage, it's divorce, it's abuse, whatever it is they want to talk about. I usually tell people, I don't want to know your name, I just want to know your story, because it's easy for us to judge once we know the names of people. So I didn't want Dear Emily to be that platform. I wanted it to be a platform where people can share their stories, and we can have guests who are here tonight, can have guests that are here tonight with me to discuss the letters that people will send me. It's all anonymous, and tonight is no different. This episode is no different. We're going to be going over a letter tonight based off of our topic. Now, our topic for tonight is Some Call It. That, like, what does some call it love? What is that topic? What are they going to talk about? Well, don't worry, I'll let you know what we're going to talk about before I introduce our amazing guest for tonight. This evening, we're going to be talking about really domestic violence. Right, domestic violence. So the topic is Some Call It Love. Some call it love. A lot of people get triggered by the DV word. They get triggered by the DV word. So some call it was really strategic. Okay, to get you all in tune, to share the video, to watch along with us, and to conversate with us. And you'll be reading the letter. We'll all be reading the letter tonight, and then you can help interact with me. So today's topic is Some Call It Love, but our focus is on domestic violence. Some of you might call it domestic abuse, whatnot. So that's what we will be talking about tonight, okay? And we have our amazing guest. But in the meantime, make sure you're sharing this video. I'm going to go on my phone. So I'm going to go on my phone and interact with you all and start giving out shout outs for those of you that are watching, those of you that are sharing this video, okay? So I'm going on my phone now. I have Parissa who's watching. Shout out to you. Thank you for watching. Dear Emily, Rebecca Brown, shout out to you for watching. We have Poe who is also watching. Poe is our guest on episode 2. Poe is the guest on episode 2. Thank you so much for watching. Gabrielle is watching. Thank you for watching. Shout out to you. We have Jeffrey Paul who's watching. Jeffrey was the first guest of season 2, episode 1. Thank you, Jeffrey, for watching. We have LD who is watching. He says, hello, guys, watching and sharing. Thank you so much. We have Noel who's watching and also sharing. She says, let's go. So proud of you. It keeps getting better. You're so beautiful and you're giving sweetness. Well, thank you. I do love compliments. So thank you so much for those of you that are watching. Rashonda is watching. Thank you so much for watching to this evening. Thank you for watching. I want to say tonight. I don't know. Some of you that's watching, it might be nighttime in your area. So good evening, good night to you all if you're watching, okay? So for those of you that are watching, keep sharing this video. Again, our topic for tonight is going to be domestic violence. It's domestic violence, but the topic is actually Some Call It Love. Look at me, I'm mixing things up now. Some call it love, but we're going to focus on domestic violence. And we have amazing, amazing women who are joining us, who are joining me today to talk about the letter that we will be sharing. And I am so honored, I'm so privileged to be with them. Like I said, don't worry, you're going to see them, okay? They're going to introduce themselves, but I just wanted to give that introduction. I wanted you all to make sure you're watching. Janet, thank you for watching. Tracy Davis, thank you so much for joining this evening. Joelle, thank you for watching. Joelle is watching all the way from North Dakota. Thank you for watching this evening. Keep sharing the video, everyone. And then this is what we're going to do. So before I introduce our guest for tonight, this evening, we are going to take a little break And then when we get back, you all will be able to see our guest for tonight. So we'll take a break and we will be right back on Dear Emily, Season 2, Episode 3. Thank you all for watching.
I need someone to talk to. I'll say what I'm going through. Tired of complications, relationships not going how I want it to. Can I get through to you? Help me understand, 'cause I wanna love again. I wanna love again. Wanna love again. I wanna love again. Wanna love again.
Welcome back, everyone. So much for watching Dear Emily Season 2, Episode 3. Again, I was just sharing with you all that we have an amazing guest with us this evening that will be joining us, and we're going to be talking about Some Call It Love. What in the world does that topic even mean? Well, our guests that are here tonight, we will be talking about it. And as you all know, part of Dear Emily, we read out the letters. We're reading letters, and then the guests will be able to help me answer those letters. And then for those of you that are watching online, please make sure you're interacting with us, okay? Make sure you're interacting, because I will be reading out comments and I'll be giving out shout outs throughout the show. Once more, I want to thank you so much for taking up your time to even tune in to watch with us, to conversate with us on this very important topic. Now, before I introduce our guests, I didn't even know that this month is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Right? And we're having this conversation about Some Call It Love. So today, I want to, survivors of DV, I want to give you all a shout out for staying strong, for the courage to even leave. As you know, a lot of people lose their lives, have lost their lives due to domestic violence, due to domestic abuse. So for the survivors, kudos to you. Thank you for the courage, for being courageous, and for healing. And today we have four survivors of DV that will be sharing part of their journey with us before we even get into the letter. So without further ado, I know a lot of you are like, Emily, stop talking. Just keep on going. Introduce the guests. So I'm going to do just that, okay? Today I want to introduce Women Empowered Minnesota that are with us on Dear Emily. Like I said, it's such an honor and it's such a privilege to be with amazing powerhouses that are here with me today. I'm going to have them introduce themselves with their names, because y'all, I might butcher names, and I'm trying so hard not to do that. Okay, so I'm going to have them introduce themselves, and then we'll get into our topic. I'm going to start over here.
Hi, I'm Davina.
Hi, I am Devin. I like to be called Miss Devin. I am the CTO of Women Empowered MN LLC. So,
Hello, I am Veronica, and I am the CEO of Women Empowered MN.
Hi, I am Ebony, and I am the COO of Women Empowered Minnesota LLC.
Thank you. Give them a shout out, y'all. For those of y'all watching online, give them a shout. Thank you, ladies, for joining this evening. I keep wanting to say tonight. There's something going on here, but thank you so much to the four of you for being here. Davina, Devin, Veronica, Ebony. Oh, gosh, I got it finally. Okay. Thank you, four beautiful women, for joining from Women Empowered Minnesota. Women Empowered Minnesota. I want you to share a little bit about Women Empowered Minnesota, what you do, and maybe the connection that you all have to Women Empowered Minnesota.
I can start that. We're just four women that came together originally when we started off. We started off with domestic violence, started doing workshops and held a conference. All of us are domestic violence survivors, and so when we did that first conference, we realized that there is so many layers to domestic violence, and we wanted to be able to really reach and help individuals recover, get through it, heal, empower them, whatever it takes to be able to make it to a point to where you are a survivor.
So we took our pain and turned it into power. Initially, when I first met Davina, we met in a domestic violence shelter. So that was the beginning of me and her, our first interaction with anything, and just being two survivors trying to make it. And then initially, Veronica and Ebony came along, and they'll share a little bit about themselves, but we've all had experience with it, and just wanting to be the voice of an unspoken, horrible time that happened, but wanting to bring light to it and empower women to say, you're not alone. It's something that happened to you. It's not who you are.
Yes. So I got acquainted with all the ladies by doing a podcast. I was doing podcasts also, and it was Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And I had seen Ebony posting about her story a lot. And so I was like, hey, come on and do a podcast with me. And then she invited them to come on, and so we did a panel, which was really amazing. As far as my history, I have a history of being in not so healthy relationships. A lot of domestic violence in many different areas, mental abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse. And so, once, like Davina said, once we did the conference, we realized, domestic violence is kind of like the surface of what happens because of the way a person really feels on the inside about themselves. So we got together, and now we do workshops to help women really dig and figure out, why am I finding this behavior acceptable? Why am I accepting the same type of people into my life? Just really trying to rebuild and help women to realize who they are and their value.
And we'll take it a step further to say Women Empowered started with a lot of trauma endurance. But Women Empowered, we have grown to help women find their purpose, find who they are, and to develop from the trauma into successful success stories. We have many success stories, but the trauma is one piece of it, but we really want those women to grow and become healed as much as we can be healed, because we're always going to continue to heal. Me and Veronica actually did our podcast a year ago today. A year ago today, and I just watched that podcast and how much hurt I still had in myself. And just watching that podcast made me remember, or made me think that with my life being changed just from that year's time, because I was still in pain for many years, that, God, if I could do that for myself, how many other women can we help and reach in that same area and that same level? So as a whole, Women Empowered, we're empowering women to grow and heal from the traumas of life. So. Yes.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so we're not even into the dialogue, the deep conversation. I'm like, my eyes are getting watered. Okay, this show would just be a crying. So it's just gonna be a crying show tonight because. Thank you. There's something that I took from each of you that you said that stood out to me. It's you've turned your pain into your passion. And it's become a purpose.
Yes.
Pain, 3 P's.
Yes.
Pain, passion, purpose.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing, honestly. And we don't have a lot of people who are maybe still going through the healing. the season of, or the phases of maybe denial. I'm not being abused, and this can't be real, and stuff like that. And the fact that you ladies did the work so that other people can also do the work, because they can see you doing the work. They're able to say, if Devon can do it, Devin can do it. Okay, if Devin can do it, if Devin can do it, I can do it. You know, if Ebony can do it, I can do it. Veronica can do it. If any other survivors of DV, if they can do it, I can also do it. So I like Women Empowered Minnesota. I'm a fan.
Thank you.
I'm a fan.
We appreciate it.
Yeah.
And you know what we are learning along the journey is that we're still healing too.
Yes.
Absolutely.
This business has really helped me heal more. And it's a beautiful thing because we can be transparent and we can be open with the people that we are working with, which encourages them. Because they're like, oh, they still crying about stuff? Like, yes, it's okay. It's okay to still be healing. None of us have arrived yet. And so we all just...
None of us will ever be
No,
right.
we won't. We won't. And so we're all on this journey together. And that's the most beautiful thing about it for me. Like, you know, we say we doing this for people, but my truth is, it's helping me too.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, it's for me also. And then having a sisterhood of women that we can hold each other accountable and you know, cheer each other on and support one another and say, sis, I see you. You sound different. You look different. You got a sparkle in your eye. You know, it's just amazing.
And we are able to test each other's mindsets of where we're at and where we're going with that. And how did you think that you were going to get there? And there's always another route and another way. And so I think that that is the amazing part of us as well. Sometimes we get lost when we think that we're on this journey and we get into that dark place. We need a sister to be able to pull us out of that dark place. When we are there, we can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, but my sister can, and she's going to help me find my way.
Yeah, and I think the sisterhood that we created has blossomed into something we never imagined.
Right.
Like the ladies we work with, they're just also amazing and supportive and wanting to volunteer and do things for us. And the things that we do workshops, and we try to do a monthly workshop. We do events quarterly. We do a daily podcast, or I'm sorry, a daily prayer line in the morning, the evening. We do a weekly Wednesday podcast. So we have so many things where we're trying to just formulate a way to be available for the ladies, be that support that we didn't know we needed when we were going through our thing, you know. So we're trying to be that voice to say, you're not here alone. If you're currently going through it, we're not passing judgment on you. And we're just, you know, giving that space for even them to tell us, what is it you want us to do? What do you need from us? And having that open door to say, okay, maybe we need to start doing something more often in person versus a monthly. Maybe it needs to be weekly. And just being open to those different, you know, suggestions from people. So we love what we do, and we're really passionate about it. I think a lot of women meet other women, and you think, you know, she's maybe catty, or maybe she wants something I have, and they can't love me really because they don't know me. And it's like, we do. We actually really do love you. We might not know you, all the ins and outs of everything you've been through, but we still love you. Even if we do know it, even if it has been bad, we still love you.
Yeah.
I think for me, the evolution of seeing a woman come from her darkest place and to see her grow into something different within just a few months is amazing to me. I've seen so many women that we've helped just evolve just by being able to speak and volunteer and use their voices, or just developing from the time frame of beginning with Women Empowered to where they are now. To me, that's everything, and that's part of our Reach One, Teach One, or Teach One model. So,
wow. Okay.
Kleenex? No.
It's coming.
It's coming.
Yeah, right. It's coming.
Looking at me like, you're already crying.
Yep, we got one down.
My left eye is getting a little watery.
Hang in there. Hang in there. But this is such an important topic.
It is.
And it's such an important conversation. And the truth is, there might be people watching who are going through it, right? Who are going through it. And to see you, beautiful, strong women who are sharing your story would give a lot of people courage, you know, to even step up and say, you know what, I need this sisterhood. Because the truth is, a lot of people don't have that. Some people are hoping to find friends and even churches and prayer group and stuff like that to go to. But some people might just be like, pray it away. Just keep praying away abuse. Like, how do you pray away abuse without talking about it? You know, without understanding what it really is, because there's so many types of abuse, and it's not just physical. Yeah, it's not just physical, but a lot of people, you automatically, when you hear domestic, you automatically think it's physical abuse, but there's so many forms of abuse that we don't talk about. And I want to read some of the comments because I think this speaks of what you do and how much impact you're making, even if it doesn't seem like it. Right? I wanna read some of the comments. Well, first, Anderson is watching, so thank you for watching. Janet is watching. Thank you for watching. Janet says, Vera says she loves Auntie Emily. I love her too. So Vera, I love her too. God Alone is watching. Maima is watching. She said their volumes are low. Hopefully it's up now and we can speak up louder. Like, okay, so hopefully the volume is working. LD says, welcome guys. Gabrielle said, thank you all for your transparency and vulnerability on this night. Porissa said, shout out to you ladies for your courage and being a voice for men and women out there. Joelle says, I'm impressed watching this show. Shirley says, blessings, ladies. Yes, Shirley again, yes. Pain, passion, purpose. I didn't do justice to that comment. Yes, yes. Pain, passion, purpose.
I do. I like that. We might have to use
yes,
that.
Yes, okay. Pain, passion, purpose. PPP, Maima sent stars. She sent 100 stars. Thank you so much, Maima, for sending 100 stars. LD said, thank you, ladies, so much for what you do and continue to do. Gabrielle says, healing is a journey. So grateful that you all share a sisterhood to journey with one another.
Yeah.
Grandma's white chicken is watching. Thank you so much for watching. I love that name. Thank you so much for watching. Jerry Gardner is watching. Thank you. Gallo is watching. Joseph is also his name. And then Janet said, you can't pray away abuse. No, you can't. You can't pray away abuse. And then Shirley said, I am so grateful and proud to be a part of this strong sisterhood. It has definitely strengthened and helped me to see me.
Aww.
Shirley, shout out to you.
Yes, Auntie, love it.
Gallo says, good conversations, ladies of high justices.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Mama Shirley.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep.
Mama
Miss
Shirley.
Cheryl.
Miss Cheryl. Miss Cheryl.
Or Auntie Cheryl.
Auntie Cheryl.
Yeah, she's part of
Okay.
Women Empowered.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Mama Cheryl. That's what she literally posted.
Corrected.
Corrected. I'm so corrected. Thank you
said,
so
"Get it right,
much.
please."
Get it right, girl. Now, get it right.
Take that to the bank, okay?
Right. Ching,
Okay,
ching.
Mama Cheryl, right? Yes. Okay. Shout out to you. You all, thank you. The comments are coming in. People are watching, they're sharing. But most importantly, before we even go on a break and then we go into the letter, I want to thank you all. Like, for your transparency, for your vulnerability, and for even choosing, dear Emily, to share your pain, your passion, and your purpose.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so
for
much.
having us.
Yeah.
No, you guys are welcome. There won't be guests if you guys weren't going to say yes. So I mean, I'm glad you said yes.
We are grateful to be here.
Absolutely.
On behalf of all women, to be able to share, and hopefully the people that need to hear it will hear it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You are not alone.
You're not alone. You're not alone. You know what? we're going to leave off You're Not Alone, and then we'll take a break. And then when we get back from the break, we'll talk about the Dear Emily letters, okay? Before we go on this break, I want to give a shout out to all of our sponsors, everyone that's watching. Benda Boutique, we have Four Girls Fashion and Beauty. Thank you so much for sponsoring Keg Media. Thank you so much for sponsoring Dear Emily. We will be right back, and when we get back, we're going to go into the letters for today. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be right back after the break.
Veronica was on her phone the whole time.
Because I didn't know that we were on.
Do they?
Welcome back, everyone. Today's topic is Some Call It Love. Some call it love. And it's also Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And we have our amazing guest in the building tonight, this evening, Women Empowered. Thank you so much, ladies, for joining me today on Dear Emily. I greatly appreciate it. Okay. We're going to go into the letters, but before we go into the letters, someone is watching and they asked the question. Nathaniel Garpu, shout out to Nathaniel Garpu for watching. He said, "Could you throw a little more light on the works of Women Empowered?"
I would say Women Empowered right now is just trying to uplift and empower individuals that need empowerment. When we think of domestic abuse, someone would say, you know, oh, you need to love yourself. Well, there's so many different layers to loving yourself. You have to, one, know yourself in order to love yourself. Part of getting to know yourself is being on that healing journey. I think we all offer a different kind of approach, and so that is where our group comes in. As I am one that just always tries to see the light at the end of the tunnel. I think that Devin is more of one that would bring the spunk into it and show you that regardless of where you're at in life, that you are beautiful, you're worthy, and that you should always accept yourself. Veronica, I think, is the one that brings in the spirituality. She has helped all of us gain a portion to get closer to God.
And I love that. And I think that Ebony just brings in the test of all of us. She's the one that says, we're going to do this and we got to get going. And she's the one that says, strap up your boots and today is a day, but we got to make it till tomorrow. And just to be able to be part of this group, I love it. I'm amazed. It's been testing me and bringing me to a better place.
Another thing I would like to speak on too about Women Empowered is that we are community. So we meet community partners and we partner up with them also. I guess to sum up what we do, we're in the business of transformation. We just want to see people transform, like Ebony was saying earlier. That's really like helping people tap into their spirituality, reminding people that they are beautiful, helping people to love themselves. Ebony's good on connecting those pieces together. So I think if we could sum it up, for me, that's what I would say, you know, because we need all of those pieces. We need mental healing, we need emotional healing, we need spiritual healing, because what do we do when it's outside of our own bounds? Then what do we do? So I think just helping people to be able to understand, like, it's okay to not be okay, but let's start trying to be okay. Let's tap into those things. And so that's what we do. And we also partner with community, with treatment facilities, recovery organization, churches, because we want to be a part of the community and make ourselves available for those people as well.
I would also say quickly that educating. We educate. Right now we have an intermittent fasting 60-day challenge going on with several ladies that are involved in the contest. We have different levels or layers to our business with experience as well as, education as well. We have fitness and wellness, and we have so many different avenues of educating women, helping them grow. We're looking to have some form of a graduation plan once we get our building and get established. That's something that we want, is to help women go across the stage and graduate from these different programs that we will be offering or that we offer currently, but we'll eventually have the space to offer more and to have those things available to them.
Something else I would add is what Women Empowered does is we get to that root cause. Why did this abuse happen? What was something that may have happened in the past, may have happened in the present? And helping the ladies to figure out what it was and getting over that. A lot of self-help, a lot of just, like they were all saying, knowledge. Those are those workshops we have. Those are those podcasts we have. Speaking to the things that we've experienced, and then also helping other people to get past that and get over that. So that's what we are doing on a daily. And like Ebony said, when we do get our building, we'll be doing that on a daily basis. Versus it being monthly or, our weekly podcasts and things. So.
And I like how it's when, not if.
Right.
Like,
Oh,
just
it's
being,
happening.
it's happening. No matter what,
It's on its way.
Oh,
It's
we know that's happening.
Without a
For
doubt,
sure.
it's on its way.
It's on its way.
on
It's
its
going
way.
to you speak it into existence.
This is
it's gonna
God's
manifest.
business.
Yes.
I like that.
This
People
is
need
God's
the
business.
skills. They need the
Business, yeah.
tools to be able to continue to move forward.
Yeah.
I can't just give you a roadmap and tell you to figure it out on your own. Like, part of this is we need to walk in this journey together, and so we need to not only gain the tools and the skills ourselves, but we need to be able to give that to others so that it can continue to trickle down, so that people have those and so that we can pass it out. We want to uplift and build women so that they can go back and uplift and build other women, and so that this can be a tree, and we can all just spread out and be able to do what we're supposed to as humans do. As a human, we're supposed to love on each other. We're supposed to be there for one another. We're not supposed to be trying to figure out, do you like me because of my hair, or do you like me because of what I have on? No, we're supposed to be trying to figure out how we can love one another and thrive. That's what we were built for.
Yeah. Okay. You guys are leaving me speechless. I don't like it. Okay. This is honestly good, and I like what you said, Ebony. You said this is God's business, because the truth is, God is in the business of healing.
Yep.
He's in the business of transforming.
And he's in the business of uplifting. That is God, right? And a lot of people who are in the church and churches and who are being domestically abused or in abusive relationships or marriages, and people are telling them, hey, don't leave, hang in there, you're going to make it, you will survive. There's so many people, so many children who are motherless and even fatherless because of abuse. And we don't talk about it. So I like what you said, like God is in the business. This is God's business, right? And
This is.
holistically is what you guys are aiming for, is holistic healing.
Yes.
And it's not just one way. Like we're healing the body, no, the mind, the soul, and the spirit. We're healing, we want to heal every part. You're like the vessel or the hands that God is using to touch his children.
We want to heal
I love
every
that.
part and every person. One person at a time.
One person at a time.
Wherever you're at.
Yeah, and we say this is God's business because God put us together.
Yes.
It wasn't by mistake that we all were on that podcast, and we were given that mission. And we're passionate about it. We eat, sleep, and think about this business every day. So when we say we're getting a building, we're claiming that because we know God has given us that platform.
Because we're getting it.
Yeah, everything that's happened with us so far with this business, it's been less than a year that we all have been together, and we have moved so many mountains and helped so many ladies. And I don't, take credit for that. That's all God. So, and I thank Veronica for helping all of us to get to that spiritual level. When we say we have prayer line, there's no denomination. When you get on prayer line, you don't have to be, joining in anything with us. You could literally get on and just listen, and we go over scriptures and pray together and cry together and laugh together. It's really just a sisterhood. So we know that adding that spiritual aspect to that healing journey is the only way it's going to work.
And that's what helped us. That's what helped each and every one of us. We just didn't know it, and sometimes women don't know that. That's the journey that we all are on. Just because we don't see one another on a daily basis doesn't mean that we're not on the same journey. And all of our journeys lead to the one place. So we're going to all meet up one day at the one place together. And so regardless of where you're at on your journey, if you haven't began your journey, if you're ahead of the game in your journey, wherever you're at, we want to be a part of it.
Amen.
And I did also want to say domestic violence is something that happens to a person. It's not who you are. And I think a lot of times when you go through so much hurt and pain, you believe that is who you are and that you deserved it for whatever reason.
And you don't.
Nobody deserves to hurt or be hurt, hit, spoken to a certain kind of way, financially abused. There's so many different layers to it, to where, me personally, speaking for myself, you feel like you're broken, so, you deserve brokenness. And that's not the case. We all deserve to be loved correctly, and there's no excuse for anyone to go through certain things. So that's what we're here for. Women Empowered is to really empower women to know it's okay. You're not alone. We all have had so many stories. All of the ladies that share the stories with us on, prayer lines and chats that we have, it's all similar, but all different things that everyone has went through. And everybody knows at the end of the day, God is in control.
That's right. And everybody has a story. So at the end of the day, it's easier to hear somebody else's story, to know that, my story wasn't that bad. There's some people that have been through a lot of things in life. There's some people that think that, what I'm going through is a lot of things in life. And all of it is a lot, especially if it's domestic abuse. Nobody deserves it. Love does not hurt. It should not hurt. And so it might be tough at times, but never hurtful in any type of manner.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies. And we're going to, everything you just shared
Thank you for sharing. The comments are coming in, but I want us to read the letters.
Yeah.
I want us to read the letter, and then we'll go back to reading the comments. Okay? I want us to read the letter for tonight. Y'all ready?
Yep, let's go.
Ready to read the letters? It's an interesting letter.
It is.
And it's a good one. So I'm going to pull up the letter for tonight. Okay. The letter says, "Dear Emily, I grew up in a family where I saw my father abused my mother consistently. I vowed to never hit my wife or any woman. I'm married to a woman who abuses me, verbally and physically, every chance she gets, because she knows I won't hit back or say anything. I am about losing it. It has been 7 years of abuse and gross disrespect from her. I don't know what I have done to her to be like this. I am tired and will one day hit back. People won't see her part, but they will see mine. What do I do, because I'm ready to lose it and fight back, which she will not like? Emily, what do I do?" So instead of just Emily, what do I do? Women empowered.
Jeez.
And Emily, from this letter that we just read, and I want the viewers to also interact also. From this letter we just read, what are some of your thoughts and maybe some advice to this man?
My goodness, have they tried counseling on any level? Hitting back is not an option. He's gone this far without having to use that level of reaction to her. Do you want to even be with this woman? That's the question. That's before we even think about counseling. Where are you in the area of where you want to be in this relationship? That's what I think. And then, I mean, don't hit her, walk away, leave if you
That's what I
don't
would say too.
want to,
I would say never allow anyone in your life to change you for the negative.
No.
If it ever comes to a point where you feel like you have to fight back, that's the point in time where you need to make that decision to leave, to walk away from that. That will be that person's loss, not yours.
Right.
No one should ever put you in a position to where you're changing for the worse. And if you're a man that says that I vow that I will never hit, then continue to keep that vow and never hit. But
And his
always walk
feelings-
away from a situation that is not healthy for you.
His feelings should definitely be validated. I think a lot of times reading a letter as what we just heard is like, oh my God, men don't get abused. Well, that's absolutely incorrect. Men do get abused. And so it needs to be taken just as seriously as if it were reversed. And I think sometimes it's not taken seriously.
I think he needs to take a step back and set boundaries. Like Eb said, you may need to separate for a little bit. That doesn't mean get a divorce. That doesn't mean leave your wife. But I think the very first thing he needs to do is protect himself and separate, set those boundaries. And then there should be some type of plan. Like, are we going to go to counseling? What are we going to do to stop this behavior? Because they have a family, so the family is watching this behavior, which will then just be passed on. He, in a way, has been affected positively from his mom by not hitting, but then he's been affected negatively to withstand abuse. And so no one deserves to be abused. And I would definitely just say that he should probably leave the home, create space between them, and then come up with a plan for her to work on her anger, to find out the root. Why is she hitting? Because the longer you allow somebody to do something, they're going to continue to do it.
Yes.
So that's what my suggestion would be. I know in marriage, a lot of people take their vows very seriously, as they should, but even God does not want you in an abusive relationship.
Absolutely not.
No.
Yeah, there's so many layers to that letter, and it just puts me in a perspective of, man, which was once a young boy, seen domestic violence. He vowed to never do it. He never wanted to be like that. And then when you grow up and you experience it on your own, I think it's more hurtful than anything, right? You know, you love someone, you entrust in them, you hope for them to never hurt you or never bring harm against you. And when that actually does happen, it's just terrible. So what I would say as far as, you know, I'm agreeing with Veronica and Ebony. Take a step back, reevaluate the situation. I would have a conversation with her and say, you know, if you really love me, why do you put your hands on me? Why do you speak to me this way? You as a man, no, never raise your hand to her. I feel like any time someone makes you want to get out of your body, want to get out of your normal, it's not healthy.
Not at all.
And that's when you need to reevaluate the situation. So I say continue being the great man you are where you're not putting your hands on her. But yes, evaluate your marriage, have that conversation with her, see what it is that you all can do to improve what you have. And, you know, if it so be it, you know, that you're not able to improve it, then maybe, you know, you do need to part ways. But I would at least have that conversation first with your wife.
And to keep the one thing to the center of your mind is that in this letter you stated that you grew up watching your father do this to your mother, and be mindful that there is children involved, and so they are watching what is happening. They are watching, they are learning, and so we as humans, we have to learn how to break these cycles.
Yes.
Breaking this cycle is don't allow your children to see that. They shouldn't have to see mom hitting on you or you hitting on mom. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And hitting on one another, devaluing someone, all of the different kinds of abuse, it's not right. And our children in this world should not learn that that is acceptable and okay.
I think one of the interesting thing about this letter, and I purposely chose the letter of a male who is being abused in an abusive marriage, because this is women empowered.
Yeah.
But it's not exclusive.
No.
Yeah.
Right? Because there are men who are being abused. And I think what stood out to me it took me a while to even send this letter to the team, to send to you all, because this person has been in an abusive marriage for 7 years.
Too long.
7 years it's not just physical, it's verbal. And I can't, what's on the letters, it's what I know. I can't imagine if they have kids, if these babies are watching their dad being slapped, being insulted daily, they're going to grow up thinking that that's normal, especially if you have daughters. Like, if mom can hit dad, like, it's okay for me to hit dad, and dad.
And even if it's not happening in front of them, children are very smart. They can sense that there is something that is unsettling between my parents. What is going on? The way we talk to each other, the way we interact with each other. Children are very smart. They catch on to that.
They're smarter than we think, than we give them credit for.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Do you want? Kids learn by what they see people doing. They learn by what parents would say, yes, but I can tell you 90% of my upbringing and my training was not just my parents talking to me.
Right.
It was, okay, walk the walk and don't just walk the talk. Like, I want you to actually walk what you're telling me. If my mom is telling me don't ever insult a man, my mom is over there like insulting my dad, that's an issue, because it's just like you're contradicting yourself. And I can only imagine this home that this person is in, that it's been 7 years. Like, it's the years for me. And I want to know if this could even be traced back to, because we talk about narcissism a lot.
Yeah.
Right? We talk about it a lot. And a lot of people don't really know what narcissism is.
No, they just say it.
They just say it, right? People are like, oh, you're a narcissist because it's all about you.
Well, it's a disorder.
But it's a disorder. It's literally a chemical imbalance, right? It's a disorder. And people who are narcissists don't even do believe that they're
Yeah.
narcissists,
Yeah.
right? That's how much
They believe everything that they're saying and doing is right.
everything they're doing is right. So I could even imagine maybe, I don't know, like if this person has gotten help or if narcissism has been brought up where it's just like, or there's some people who like to feel in control. You know, they like to feel in control. Or what's opposite for him, it could be this woman grew up seeing her mom
And that's what I was
being
going to say.
abused. You know?
Abuse is a learned behavior.
Yeah, it's a learned behavior. She's like, the next man or the man that I marry, instead of you abusing me, I'm going to abuse you. Most of the time, people who have been abused, they end up being the abuser in their relationships, right? In their relationships and stuff like that. So that could be what is going on. Like I said, we only know little from this letter, but 7 years of patience, honestly, I don't know what I would do. Like the Bible says, turn the other cheek. For 7 years, turning the other cheek. People can really push you to your limit. It's a lot.
And then what about the respect in the home? Like as a dad, as a man, as the person that is supposed to be the head of the household, to be treated in such a way. If your wife doesn't respect you, your kids probably have a lack of respect for you also. And then this is things that you're also teaching your kids from generations to generations, which then what type of boys are you raising in your home, right? So I just think it's real important that you have to have those boundaries and stand your ground. You can't love someone more than you love yourself. You cannot love this woman more than you love you. Like, and for her to treat you in such a way, and you're not servicing your family if there are kids by staying, because the staying is you have a toxic environment for your child. You're better off being separated, not saying divorce, but separated until you figure some things out, as opposed to continuing letting a child or your children watch this type of behavior.
And like you said, Veronica, like if you don't love you, how can you properly love someone else? And so part of loving you is protecting yourself. And so you can't give something to someone else that you don't have yourself. And so is he really even loving her? It goes into a very big aspect of, if I love myself, I'm not going to allow you to do certain things to me. We're going to already have these boundaries. The minute I see these red flags, I have to put them up. And if the boundaries aren't working for me, then I may have to walk away.
Shadow work on
7 years
himself.
is a long time.
Shadow work on himself.
The thing, though, that just hit me when you said that, though, is tradition, too, though.
Yeah.
As a child, he watched his mother do this, so to him...
I made my bed, I got to lie in it.
Well, and then it's like, this is what love is then. Because my dad went through it, and he stayed, and this was what the love is that I learned to believe. And so now that I'm an adult, this is what love is to stay even when I'm being abused, you know?
But the truth of the matter is he can't love her if he can't love him.
Some call it love.
Some call it love.
Yeah,
that's the topic for tonight. Some call it love.
And I would also ask him, you know, what is it within himself that he thinks he deserves this? 7 years, you're with a woman who verbally and physically abuses you. Do you think you deserve that? Because you don't.
That's right.
And I think that would be the number one question you need to ask is, why am I dealing with it?
And then I want to say thank you to him, because he did take the first step to acknowledge that it's not right.
That's right.
Yeah.
He took
indeed.
a second step by writing the letter to reach out for help. So thank you for that, because those are two major steps, is recognizing it and reaching out. To be able to get somebody else's output in it, instead of just sweeping it under the rug and saying, you know what, I'm going to do another 7 years.
Yeah, that's not, when I'm reading this letter, this is not marriage. This is surviving. Because this is literally, and a lot of people stay in these things. Like we said, there's so many types of abuse, and he stated physical and verbal abuse, and there's so many men who are going through physical and verbal abuse every day. But we live in a society where you have to man up, you know, like literally man up. And
I was telling someone, like, the fact that men have to write letters that are anonymous tells me that they don't have brotherhood. Or maybe they do, but it's just like, okay, well, if she's hitting you, you better hit back, you know, or how dare you let her, and it's 7 years, so it's not like it just started 3 months. This has been 7 years, and he vowed to his mom, like, I would never hit a woman because I saw my mother being abused by my father, and I don't want to be like that. I want to be better, but then you end up in an abuser arm in their home where it's almost like you want to leave, but some people stay for the sake of their children, even though it's harmful. But a lot of people would also say, hey, it's better to be in a 2-parent household than that are, even if it's unhealthy.
But there's no takeaway from that, because what's meant is going to happen.
Right.
And what's not meant is not going to happen. And so even if he chooses to leave and walk away, that's part of starting to set your boundaries. God already knows what you have in store for you. And so if it was meant for you guys to be able to have 7 more years, you are going to have that. She is going to realize, and sometimes it's sad to say, but they'll miss you when you're gone. When you walk away, sometimes it takes for them to understand that I have to do better, and I have to change, and I have to make alterations within myself and be willing to say, okay, I'm going to get help and I won't do this. But as long as you stay and you're there and you're trying to put up these boundaries, it's going to be a little bit harder because you've already put in 7 years. That's a long time. If you've already now trained me for 7 years, my behavior is okay, why am I going to change because you just told me that I have to and you haven't shown me anything? It's going to take for him to physically have to leave this for her to understand how much he really means to her. And if it was meant for them to be together, they'll be back together. And if it wasn't, then they won't. But we don't get to make that decision. Only he knows what the end result really is of that.
7 years of trauma from kids and then the husband and
the whole family's traumatized.
The whole family's 7 years is not 7 days.
No,
okay?
it's not.
And it's not 7 seconds at all. 7 years is 7 years of abuse. And I can only imagine if this man would ever, if they decide to separate, because some people might just be like, you know what, enough is enough. Like, I'm calling it a day. Divorce is what it is. I didn't want to, but it's going to happen. And sometimes it's best, right? Because you know what is best for you. No one is in your shoes. This is why I tell people, like, I'm not in your shoes. I don't know what you're going through. I don't know and I don't know if their love would ever be amended if they were to separate.
It could, though.
It could be, right? But we don't know if it would. So if you would go back in it, faking it. Because marriage is not meant to hurt.
No.
It's
like,
not.
God intended marriage to thrive. To thrive, right? And a lot of people from this letter, people are literally just surviving through it. Like this man and his wife and his household, it's survival mode. Since 2015. Well, you're good at math than me. 2015 of abuse.
And they say that it takes double the time for you to be able to even get on your healing journey. And double the time, and sometimes even triple the time for your trauma.
So that's about 14
and so,
plus years.
if we've dragged children into this, and they're traumatized from this, it's going to take them double the time to be able to even start the process of understanding and healing it.
And they might never understand it. And they might never, because healing is hard. Admit, like, healing hurts. It's painful. There's nothing
foreign.
pretty about there's nothing pretty about healing. No, but it's worth it.
It is.
But it's painful. I posted something on social media the other day, and I said a lot of people are wiping away tears. Right? They come on screen to wipe your tears. Podcasts, organizations, and stuff like that. But you don't know the fight that they have to fight daily. You have no idea, like, what people have to go through to even come on this show. You don't know the cry that they cry. You don't know the cry that I cry. You know what I'm saying? Like, to come on this show to bring positive impact, like to shine light on issues like this. But most of the time, I believe that
sometimes like God will call you into your purpose or give you a platform that you also need to work on.
Yeah.
Right? And as y'all know, relationship is my work.
Well.
It's literally my work. But he will literally call you into that
Yes.
because it's like this if you can genuinely like heal from it, then you would be speaking from a place of passion.
Yes.
Right? And not just and that's what women in power, that's how you all came together, because you're speaking from a place of your pain has transformed into passion. Passion has become purpose to be on a mission to help heal as many people as possible.
You
And
would
that's
not
powerful.
believe how much we realized things affected us
Mm-hmm.
until we actually started talking about everything.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, we thought that was a wound that was healed,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and it was just a scab.
Yep.
And started to learn each other.
Yeah.
And to be able to know, like, okay, if you're broken in this area, I can be here to hold you together in that area. And to know how beautiful that is, to know that I have sisters that I can call on and count on in the places that I fall short in.
Yeah.
And to know that it is okay to give away your tears.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes we always try to put that mask on, right?
Mhm.
Makeup is pretty, hair
It
is
is.
pretty, but inside you cannot stop those
Mm-mm.
feelings. If something hurts you, that moment of when that hurt is going to come out, it's going to come out however it does, whether you're crying, screaming, whatever the case may be. So
Yes.
I think a lot of times, you know, us as humans, we want to go work out and we want to get the best clothes on, but you have to fix within.
Yes.
Because we want to be perfect. And then when you really think about it, though, what is perfect?
Yeah.
We were already perfect. He designed us all individually in his own image, perfect. Perfectly imperfect, as Eb always says to us.
You guys are gonna get me crying. Stop. Don't do it. Don't do it. I haven't cried yet on Dear Emily. So there's a first. Today might just
It is
be-
okay to give away your tears.
It is okay to, you know, and I'm going to share something. There was a time in my life where I believe I hit my partner at one point. I did because I just felt like the lies was like too much, and it's not an excuse, but this individual was lying so much, and I was like, pow, turn the other cheek, and another slap. And I'm not proud of it, like looking back, but sometimes we have so much anger within, and you feel like the only outlet that you have is to hit, you know, or to abuse or say things verbally and stuff like that. And I was in that position where I was an abuser. Like, come to think about it. And transparent moment over here where it's just like, hey, forget about the makeup and the pretty face, but I was that. And I realized I had to catch myself like, hey, Emily, if you start doing this just in a dating phase, you're going to take that into marriage. You know, and you if you want to be better, right, you have to do the work to heal. You have to do the work to be better and not so angry. Because I was angry and I needed any outlet. And if that's hitting, that's punching, that's slapping, whatever it is I needed to do, with whomever it is that was in front of me at the moment, I would just do it. And I don't think sometimes we realize that maybe that little girl or that little boy, like, it comes out. It does. Most of, especially in relationships. Like, we see it, like, okay, this little girl has not been healed, you know.
But it's also a sign. If someone can bring out the ugly in you, is that person really meant for you?
You're right. He was not meant for me.
See? And another thing I think about that too is, like you were saying, it's like there's certain parts of us that we probably don't even know that this bothers us, because as women, as people, we stuff.
Yeah.
We stuff a lot of things. I don't know how many times I've stuffed something not wanting to be a nag,
Yeah.
and not wanting to bring the mood down, and not wanting to do that.
Yeah.
We have to address things when we feel that way, because
Yeah.
if we don't, then it builds up, and then that's how it shows up.
Yeah.
And I think as a people, like we've been saying earlier, we all got to show up perfect and smiling, and it's like, do yourself a favor and express how you really feel in that moment. Don't let it build up, right? Because it never comes out the right way once it's built up.
Mm-mm.
And then that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I happen, right?
I've been there. I'm not going to leave you out there on a limb by yourself.
I will
I've been there
agree.
too.
I will agree.
Literally.
Yes.
But I think it's also that little girl that once was disappointed, and then when you're in a relationship as an adult and a man that you love disappoints you, it's like, what else can I do? Let me hit you. I mean, it's just your reaction to things, and it doesn't make it right.
No.
But there is something within you that is broken, and they triggered that. So I think us recognizing those things, those red flags, those triggers, to be able to remove ourselves from those situations before it gets to that point. Because I think, when I was like that at one point, it was me just still forcing this relationship. I just wanted to work, even though he's doing this, even though he's lying, even though he's doing all these things that I don't agree with. Me trying to, like Veronica said, push it to the side, push it back, and you just blow up one day. And I mean, it's not okay. It's really not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love is supposed to be beautiful.
It's not supposed to hurt.
It's supposed to be like a storm that you are sheltered from.
Yeah.
Like just dancing in the storm, or just standing in the middle of a storm with somebody else and knowing that you're protected. Love is a beautiful thing, and it should not hurt.
Physically, mentally, emotionally,
financially.
Like we have this thing where we just think it's physical, and all the time people only hone on physical, and so they convince themselves that they're in healthy relationships because they're not getting hit. But it's deeper than that. It's all kinds of areas that you can be abused in.
Yeah.
And it doesn't feel right internally.
And based off of that letter, there's every area of abuse in that letter.
Yeah.
So,
I once was told by my aunt that she would have rathered for my uncle to physically abuse her because her wounds could heal. But the words would always stick with her. And she said, I'll never be able to get out of my head of how he's beat me down with his words.
Yep.
That he comes in and he punches me with his words. And I said, I understand that. I get that. I feel that inside. And that's one thing that we will never get back. But no one should ever have to go through anything like that.
Yeah. Emotional abuse, many would argue that is more detrimental.
Definitely.
Than physical abuse, because it can heal. The wounds can heal, but emotional abuse, imagine someone calling you ugly and there's something wrong with you and you need this and you need this done and you're stupid, you're not smart, and this and that, it sticks with you. That
and you start
get
to believe
trapped
it.
in. You start to believe it. Like that is actually who you are. You start to believe that. So a lot of people, like in this letter, this man is going through verbal abuse.
Yeah.
I don't even want to know what's being said to him, and then physical abuse. So you're hitting him, and then you're insulting him on top of it.
Emotional, because he's questioning himself. He's questioning his actions and what he needs to do.
Yeah.
Emotional and verbal abuse is what you guys are speaking on, where you're saying the words and all that. But emotional abuse is when you have to question yourself. He's questioning his inner self on what he should do and where he should stand. And in all actuality, you're actually being mind manipulated by the person who's emotionally abusing you. So
I have literally met and coached people where women would flip the script. They would literally flip the script on their partners and make themselves the victim.
Yes.
Like, well, if he would have done this, then I wouldn't.
Yeah.
It's like there are women who would literally tell me, oh, you know what, like, me and this person, I mean, he's a good guy, but it just wouldn't work out.
Yes.
Because you feel like you're losing a sense of control.
Yes.
And a lot of people, a lot of women, like I've had to look at some women and be like, okay, you're very abusive. Not just that, but you're manipulative on top of it.
Yep.
Like you're making this man, like women, it's a woman's world, and we can get whatever we want, because we could cry for help. And most people oftentimes would never ask about the man. In the marriage, it's always, okay, you're being abused. Okay, so what did he do? It's always like, most of the time from what I've seen.
Yeah.
Oh, well, what did he do? And well, he must have done something. Did he cheat for you to hit him? Did he do this for you to disrespect him?
It doesn't matter.
And it doesn't matter. Like, abuse should not be limited to one gender.
Correct.
No, treat people how you want to be treated.
it.
And this man is on edge. Honestly speaking, courage to you. Because I don't know how many people, male and female, would go that long.
Right.
7 years of not hitting
7
back.
years.
7 years of not like saying, and maybe they have gone to counseling. I would imagine like family members probably have gotten involved, mother-in-laws, father-in-laws, sister-in-laws, people have probably gotten involved, and it's just like, I'll change, I'll do better, and people apologize, and for 2 weeks it's good.
Right.
And then the next month is good, and then everything is rosy, and then they fool you to suck you in.
Right.
Like, because keep coming back, I've changed, but then you're still the same person. And I purposely read this letter so people can know that there are men out there who are being abused, and they might never come out to say it. Right? They might never come out to say that, hey, yeah, my wife beat me every day, or my girlfriend
But it's
hit
not
me
even
or
about
abuses
him
me.
not saying it. Everyone around you can see it.
Can see it.
So whether you say it or not, they know. And I mean, whether you aren't saying it because you think it will mess with your masculinity, you still deserve to be treated right.
Yeah.
Regardless of if you're a man or a woman. So don't
They
feel
are
as though
kings.
that's the reason why you don't speak up about it.
Yeah.
Nobody deserves that.
No. So please, and I don't know who wrote this letter, right? It could be anybody who's watching online. And if you are, like, first of all, thank you. Like you said, like, thank you for sharing that, because it takes a lot of courage. And second of all, like, you don't have to say yes to abuse. It's been 7 years, and you've said yes to it, right? You can literally walk away, step aside, take a breather. Travel or do something. You don't have to get a divorce, because no one is here to promote that, but step away for the sake
Take a
of
break.
your mental health,
Yes.
for your sanity. Like, step away from that situation and maybe reassess, reevaluate what's going on, if you want to stay or if you want to leave, and then get professional help. And they don't have to be in your circle. It doesn't even have to be your pastor in the church, right? It doesn't have to be someone you're familiar with.
Right.
It could be someone a new community of people that you will go to, and maybe you'll see things from a different perspective. Sometimes
and
it
you'll know
helps.
exactly what it is that you want.
Yeah. Sometimes it helps for you to step outside of your comfort zone, outside of your community, to really see clearly. And I would say get out. Like, honestly, save yourself.
Yes.
Save yourself. Because you don't want your babies, if you do have babies, to end up being fatherless.
I
Right?
would say it can really turn ugly.
Yeah.
Mentally, any person who experiences so much abuse and bad talk, after so long, you lose yourself.
Yeah.
So for the sake of yourself and your family, I think you should, step away if you're able to, mentally regroup, and then, come to your wife and have that conversation, because you don't want it to be something that, we all hear on the news where, father ends up doing X, Y, and Z. That should never be the case. So for the sake of your own mental health, I would say, take a step back and evaluate things and regroup, and then have that conversation.
Yeah.
Or even like he said, you end up fighting back, and in the letter he stated himself that everybody will see her side and nobody will understand his side. You fight back and things can go a little bit too far even in that instance, and then here it is that the world is judging, thinking that it was you the entire time and it wasn't her, and not being willing to hear your side of the story. Part of that is just being the bigger person, and walk away from the situation. Maybe not forever, not for good, but for the moment. You need that break, that clarity for yourself.
Yeah. And you know what? On that note, there's so many comments here that we're going to read, but I want us to take a break. I want us to take a break, and then when we get back, this will be the last section. When we get back, we'll take a break, and then we'll just do closing remarks on everything that was talked about, the letters. I'm going to give out some shout outs and read the letters, but before we even go on a break, I want to discuss there's a movie premiere coming up. It's called Attribution, and I'm going to send you ladies an invite. It's the first African movie.
It's in November, right?
November 4th.
I've been watching
You've
for
been
it.
watching,
Yeah.
huh? Yeah.
I saw it.
It's November 4th, and it's going to be at the Imagine Theater, Willow Creek in Plymouth. First African movie that will be shown in the theater is Red Carpet Experience. It's going to start from 6 o'clock all the way to 2 a.m. But because there's an after party that will start at like 10 o'clock, but the movie itself would start at the experience of the whole movie would start at 6 o'clock with red carpet, and then the actual movie will start at 8 o'clock. And we have tickets there. General admission is $30. We have the VIP, that's $50, and then you can get a table with 6 people. That is $350, and we even have like sponsorship packages and stuff like that. So I'm announcing that to everyone that's watching, and even to you ladies, so you could join me. Yes, we're going to have an amazing time, and it's really a great time to network because businesses will be there. There would be interviews like about what you do and about the movie and stuff like that. So you want to be a part of it. Attribution it's a great movie, and I'm looking forward to it and looking good because only on certain days I look good. So
you said the table. How many seats for the table?
Six for the table, and it's $350. Okay. And we even have like sponsorship packages. If you want to be a sponsor, I'll send you all the information after this. So please. If you're watching, we're going to take a little break with the Attribution, the trailer of the movie, but stay tuned and I'll talk more about it before we finally close up, okay? Thank you all for watching. We'll be right back after the break.
Robert Quillen once said that a good marriage is a union between two good forgivers.
Love you.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
No, Jay, what else do you want in a woman that I haven't offered you?
Please. How about forgiving and trust? Let's start with that.
Sometimes I really wonder what he takes you for. A fool! That's it. But I'm going to choke life out of him. You see, this visit is in peace. The next time we'll be coming here will be war.
I swear to... I repeat, anything at all happens to Olaiton's marriage, I promise you the same.
What I'm experiencing here is worse than what she's experiencing. Which one is the same again?
For me, the only annoying part of all of this is the fact that animal, we have mutual friends on Facebook. And that animal, I'm going to tag all of them. Can you see the nonsense you have put me into?
Jayen, hit me! No, Jayen, hit me!
You know, these slave queens in town, they're not smiling. They are willing to snatch husbands and just shatter homes.
Shatter which home? Their lives will be shattered!
Bianca,
in Jesus' name!
You don't want to miss it. November 4th at 6 p.m. we will be at the Imagine movie theater. Please do not miss it. Make sure you purchase your ticket. Purchase your ticket. Go online. Go on the KEG page to purchase your ticket and join us. Join us November 4th. I will be there. Dear Emily will be there. And I'm hoping that Women Empowered would be there.
We'll be there.
We'll be there.
Women Empowered will be there.
We're going to be in there.
We love a red carpet event. And we'll be looking good too.
we got to take photos and all of that. And that's literally just about less than 2 weeks away.
Yep.
Less than 3 weeks away. We'll be there.
Yes, we'll be there.
Okay. Okay, we're going to be there. So
Yes.
don't miss it. Tickets, general admission is $30, and it even gets you into the after party. Okay, so general admission is $30. VIP is $50. You get drinks with VIP tickets, and with the table, you also get drinks and refreshment and stuff like that. So I would say show up, and we have a lot in store for that night, especially at the after party. At the actual movie, the producer of the movie is going to be there.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's a woman.
Oh, beautiful.
Nice. It's a woman. Yeah, the producer of the movie is a female who is amazing, who's just killing it in the movie industry.
Nice.
So I would, everyone come out and support, okay? And go click on the link to purchase your ticket. The link is also posted below for you to post your for you to purchase your ticket. Now I'm saying post your ticket for you to purchase your ticket. Okay, we've been having an amazing conversation on Some Call It Love, and it is Domestic Violence Month, Awareness Month. So shout out to all the survivors, and there's 4 beautiful women here with me today who are also survivors of DV, one form or the other. I want us to read some of the comments because we read the letter that's hard. That's hard. That was really hard, and people are still commenting. So I want us to read some of the comments, if that's okay.
Yes.
Now it's not Mama Shirley. No, it's Mama
Cheryl.
Cheryl, right? Mama Cheryl. Okay. She said, "That's right, Miss Devon. Anyone can be a victim."
Yep.
Okay. Nikki, shout out to Nikki, says, "We as women, we tend to blame ourselves in domestic abuse relationships." So I'm assuming it's to our previous conversation before we read the letter. And then we have Grandma's White Chicken. I like that name. Great letter. Men experience abuse too.
Yes.
Yes. And then Mama Cheryl says, no one, okay? No one deserves to be abused, period.
Yep.
Get yourself out of there.
Yep.
Get out. And then Nathaniel said, no way have you talked about this to her folks. So I'm assuming have you talked to the mother-in-laws and stuff. Mama Cheryl says, after I stopped being abused, I myself became the abuser. And that wasn't right. It was wrong and very unhealthy for all involved. 7 years is, from Nathaniel says, 7 years is a lot of time to turn the other cheek.
Yeah.
It's a lot of time. Cheryl says, yes, Veronica, right now he needs to get out.
Yeah.
So it's from previous comment. And then she also says, right, love does not inflict pain.
That's right.
Period. Ansu, thank you for watching. Janet says, heart goes out to him, trying to do the right thing. If being in that space is testing your commitment, step back.
Yep.
Step back. Amadou Dunbar is watching. Amadou Dunbar is my father. Shout out to my dad for watching. I'm not even sure if he's still watching. But he just tags on and then he's like, okay, I'm leaving. Just so you know, I came up. But shout out to you, Daddy. Thank you for watching. Mama Cheryl says, we stay too long. And after so long, the relationship is beyond repair.
Yes. Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Just my opinion. Yes. And then Chuku, thank you for watching. She says facts. Riva, thank you so much for watching. Janet says it's important that he gets the help he needs to heal and be the strong example he desires to be for his family.
That's right.
Are there men empowerment programs too? So I guess she wants to know if there are programs to empower men as well.
We have resources. We do know of some programs in the community that we can offer to men if they visit our website or send us an email. It's private email. You can send it to us at womenempowermn@gmail.com. And we could send you those resources.
Okay. So yes, there are resources out there that Women Empowered would be able to direct you to.
Yes, absolutely.
Mama Cheryl is on a roll. I mean, she's just literally snapping and agreeing with everything. Mama Cheryl, shout out to you. Parissa says, but also separation affects the children, which is why most abusers try to avoid it.
Yes.
Right? So how can you both protect yourself and avoid the effect of separation on the children too?
Well, I'll speak up on that. Growing up in a household where there was verbal abuse from my parents, and until I was in my 30s, I thought there was physical abuse as well. You know, when you hear arguments in rooms, you just make your own assumption of what's going on. My mom told me she stayed until I was 14 for the sake of us. And when we had the conversation, I told her, you should have left a long time ago. I feel like the things that I experienced in my life were because of what I seen in my childhood. So you thinking being in a two-parent household is better, it's actually more harmful because you are exposing them to things that they don't need to see. So yes, it's hurtful to have, you know, separation, but it's even more hurtful for that kid to hear their parents going through that.
And to be raising them to believe that that's okay and that's the normal and that's how life is supposed to be.
Yeah.
I would rather for my kids to have to be into two separate homes and see their parents in that aspect, and for us to be able to grow and actually have a community of people versus my children to be in the home, seeing all of what I know as within myself as trauma. It is traumatizing to be able to see somebody that you love be hurt in any kind of manner. It is traumatizing to be able to see someone that you love hurt somebody else that you love. And then to not be able to, as a child, decipher what is right and wrong from that. And or even to be able to control it, because sometimes we say that we're not going to be like this and then grow up to be just like that.
I agree. Keep reading?
Yes.
Okay, Joy, Trace, Jay Worship, thank you for watching. And then Nathaniel said there's another side of the story. So there's another side of the story. And I would really love for these people who are like sending these letters to just send me a message and like, I want to come on. Like, and actually I would love for that to happen. But yes, there is always another side of the story. Parissa says, it is okay to give away your tears. And I think that's something that you said. It is okay to give away your tears. Now I'm like, there's something going on. Okay. Masa Appleton is watching. Thank you so much for watching. Mama Cheryl says, we see people the way we want them to be, not what they truly might be. Not what they truly might. I couldn't even agree more. And then she also said, when I was growing up, we used to say, sticks and stones may break my bones, but your words would never hurt. One of the crafty lies of Satan that has been formed from generation to generation.
Absolutely.
And then Janet says, I think for 7 years you have proven that you have self-control and proven to yourself what you promised yourself you didn't want to repeat in your life. However, sometimes strength is not being able to exercise self-control, but walking away. But walking away. Daniela Love, shout out to you, is watching. Joanne is watching, shout out to you. And then Nathaniel says, well, all said and done, I want to say kudos to that brother. Continue to be strong. Continue to be the strong man you are. Kudos to you. Mama Cheryl says, great job, women of God. And God's continued blessings be upon us all. This was really enlightening and helpful. I pray someone was looking and found something they needed to be able to get help. It's available. April Purple Heart says, hello everyone. And Mama Cheryl is the star for tonight.
She is
Mama
always the
Cheryl
star.
says, yes, definitely more hurtful and harmful to keep children or child in adult bondage. is unfair and have terrible consequences for the children.
Mhm.
Those are the comments. I want to thank everyone for commenting. Those of you that are sharing also this video, sharing Dear Emily. The whole purpose is to create a safe space for people to have healthy conversations. Healthy Dear Emily, healthy conversations on Dear Emily show, and this has been nothing short of that. It's been positive, it's been healthy, it's been empowering, and I'm so grateful to you all. Before we close out for tonight, I want you ladies, do you have any last words to our viewers that are watching tonight, or that will also watch later?
I do. I just always like to say, if something doesn't feel good to you, you don't have to rationalize with yourself to make it feel good. Address it. Don't stuff it. Don't try to make excuses for it. Meet it head on.
Yeah, I can piggyback off of that and say, trust that inner feeling. If something doesn't feel right from the beginning, trust that. Don't try to push past those feelings and say, oh, maybe I'm tripping. No, it's that true feeling you have inside where you know something ain't right.
Don't fear. Don't fear losing out on something that you really don't have in the first place. Don't think that the more you work on this person's behavior or their whatever it is they're doing to you, that they're going to go and treat somebody else better. 9 times out of 10, if a person is abusing you verbally, physically, mentally, emotionally, I love to hone in on emotionally.
And financially.
They're going to continue to do, and financially, they're going to continue to do it. You're not sparing yourself by staying. You're not changing that person. Focus on yourself.
And two, don't be that puzzle person that is trying to force something that's not going to fit. We all have someone, whatever they are. He's going to bring it to you whenever it is that you're ready for it. And so work on self and forget about everything else. Because the only thing that really matters is once you get you together, all the rest will just fall right into the places that it's supposed to be. Nothing should ever be forced. We're humans and we love to interact and we want to be loved and we yearn for it so much that sometimes it's easier just to take things that are unhealthy and unnatural. But the reality of it is we're going to get it when it's ready for us, not when we want it. Every day we wake up, we have a billion new wants. God provides us with everything that we need when we need it. And so just to be able to have that kind of faith.
Yeah. Thank you so much, ladies, for coming on tonight, for gracing Dear Emily with your presence. It honestly means a lot. And I am going to come to a Women in Power event, so you all keep me posted. Just let me know. But this was such a good conversation that even almost 2 hours of this conversation, it doesn't even do justice. Right? This is just scraping the surface of everything because abuse is deeper and it needs to be talked about
and it's
multiple times, and it's real. It's happening. People are living proof and evidence that it is real, and people are losing their lives daily. So the fact that you all came here today to be on the show could save somebody's life.
We also have a podcast on Wednesdays. This Wednesday, for the month of October, we have been featuring a different woman that has gone through domestic violence. We also have 2 from the previous weeks in October on this topic. So every Wednesday at 6:30 Central Time, we do have podcasts. This Wednesday, we are featuring another lady talking about DV. So.
And all of our podcasts are on YouTube.
Yep,
so you
all
can go
of them.
back and you can watch any of them that we've already recorded. Sometimes it's helpful to learn. It's always helpful to learn. It's not sometimes. It's always helpful to learn where we're at in life. And sometimes that's what it is to be able to figure out where we're at in life. Whether we are the abused or the abusers. We're all going through something and we have to be able to open our eyes and recognize it.
Yeah, I agree. So visit Women Empowered Minnesota and follow their pages on Facebook. Also, keep posted on events. I have you all, well, not you or you, but I have Ebony and Veronica on Facebook that I will be following and also sharing your stuff and the work that you're doing, because it's great work. It's hard work, but it's also great work, and it takes a lot of courage to do what you all are doing. And once again, I want to say thank you so much. And thank you to our viewers that have been watching and following the comments. I mean, it's still coming in, and we're not even going to be able to read everything. But Janet did say, she said this, she said, "Thank you, ladies. God bless and grant you the grace to sustain yourselves. Help others and get that building you love. Get that building. Help others and get that building."
Thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate that.
Thank you, ladies, so much for coming here tonight, this evening. Thank you for watching, the viewers that are watching, those that already sent stars or that will be watching. In the end, we want to thank you all. And don't forget, we have Attribution movie premiere November 4th from 6 p.m. starting red carpet all the way till 8 o'clock with the red carpet, and then at 8:15 the movie will start. And the movie is about an hour and a half. Okay, the movie is about an hour and a half. You're paying for your own popcorn, by the way. Okay, you're gonna pay for your own popcorn.
Okay, I guess.
But it's general. The general admission is $30, and it gets you into the after party as well. Okay, VIP is $50, and you can get it comes with drinks and free refreshment, or you can get a table that's $350. It comes with drinks and refreshments, and we're going to have lots of activities for that night at the after party, so you do not want to miss it. The link is also in the chat. So once more, I want to say thank you, Pordia Carpenter. Thank you for watching. Reva, thank you. She said, "Great show tonight, ladies." And I could not even agree more. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time on screen on Dear Emily. Have a wonderful night, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.